Okay, there we are. That was the last year of my 30s, chronicled in the length of my beard. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I said last week that I was going to show footage of my drawing that I'm working on, but then I forgot that I'm turning 40 this weekend. So I thought I would make that little film. So I started doing that just before my last birthday, taking photograph every day. This was before I even thought about doing a YouTube video. I just wanted to see the beard growing for myself. But there we are, there it is. The question is, should I carry on growing it or should I whip it off? You've seen now what it looked like without a beard. So what do you think? Comments down below. Lovely. Okay, so I thought what I'll do is just, because I'm stuck for time again. I've got to go to work in less than an hour. So what I thought I'd do is just a tiny off the cuff talking about my 30s. Seems a good time to do it. Take stock. I know that every time you approach one of the big numbers, it's normal to worry, I suppose. I know I did when I turned 20 and when I turned 50, and it seems quite silly now, looking back. And people older than me, they'd think it's silly to worry about going into the 40s. And I'm not, actually. I'm quite looking forward to 40. And the 40s thereafter, because I feel as though I'm in the best time of my life, really. I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about how to live better and be happier. And that was done through the turbulent years of my 30s. 20s were quite nice. It was up and down, but it was generally quite fun. But you end up cruising, you go through your life burning it away, wasting it in frivolous ways. In the 30s, I was slightly more focused. I tried to be, and then it went off the rails. So now I'm looking at a new set of 10 years in which to try and do as much as possible. So the 30s. Okay. It all started going wrong, really, when I turned 30. I had perfect teeth, for one, up until I turned 31 or so. No fillings, nothing wrong. And then suddenly I needed some teeth removed from the back, wisdom teeth, and they had messed up the teeth behind those. So now I've got two problems at the back there. And I can't afford to go to the dentist. So I haven't been for a while, and the pain's not too bad. It comes and goes. Yeah, and I bit on a stone in a gherkin and chopped another tooth in half. Another bit of tooth went the other day, actually. Yes, so that's one thing. Ravages of time, how they impact on the body. Then I had this mystery illness around the same time, actually, in which I thought I might have something quite terrible happening to me. Half of my body was going numb for no reason, and I was feeling really tired. And this happened during the time I was studying for my MA in fine art, so it wasn't good timing. And I kind of worried over that for a number of years until I bit the bullet and had tests, spine and brain scan, lots of blood tests. And the thing that the doctors feared wasn't the case. So I was okay. So facing something that was potentially quite horrible turned out to be okay, although they never were able to diagnose it, and it keeps coming back now and then, but less and less, thank goodness. They did suggest it could possibly be to do with stress, and I am quite a worrier, so it's possible that it was that. But since then I've done my own investigations, and I can say fairly a fair bit of confidence that I think it's related to air pressure. Asymptomatic migraines. No pain in the head, but other things going on. So there we are. There was that. And then I've got joint pain in my wrist and my knee, and so I pretty much every day I experience pain on some level. So, but the upshot from that is that I've learned to appreciate the times when there's no pain at all, and it's lovely. At the moment, I'm doing okay today. A lot of people have it much worse than me, obviously, of course. It's not unbearable. Sometimes it is, but only, yeah. Anyway, so things can go wrong in the 30s. That's what I've experienced. Could get worse in the next 10 years. But we have to be positive. And that's another thing I've kind of learned to be, I'm trying to be slightly more positive. Do as much as I can while I can. So as I've said in the past, my wrist hurts a lot, painting and drawing. There's no way I'm giving any of that up. Just got to push through it until the day comes when I can't. The temptation to just stop doing these things is quite great. I mean, I stopped cycling just because it was unbearable. It was causing more pain than the pleasure I used to get from doing it. So I had to stop that. But these other things I'm going to cling on to, like grim death. What else? What else has happened? Yeah, so I did my master's and I was really into my art during those early 30s. But then I kind of lost heart in it all. The art world isn't a place for someone like me. And so that's when I started turning in on myself to a certain extent and started writing. There I can control everything. I don't need any money to do it. And I can conjure whatever I like, put it on the page, and it can be read. Problem is getting people to read it, which is quite difficult, it seems, because no one's found my book because it's buried. But I'm going to work on that when I've got some money in the bank and hopefully publicize it a bit more with some advertising. There was another thing I was going to say. Okay, I had to make an edit there. First time I've had to do that, but I've just had a big period of trying to rack my brains as to what I was going to say. The other thing is money. I've never had much of it. And now I've got less now, turning 40, than I did, I don't know, when I was 20. It's but I've always been of the opinion that money isn't that important to the quality of life. To a certain extent, obviously you need enough to survive, but I'm quite happy just surviving. So that's how I've lived the last year, using up my savings. Nothing frivolous, no holidays, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm embracing the life of a monk, which isn't quite so fun for Vanessa, my girlfriend, but hopefully we'll do more in the future. Yes, and that's another big part is Vanessa. She's really calmed me down because I can be quite a stressful person, and she's had such a calming influence on me that I realize now that I'm living my best life now because of her. There's no other way of putting it. So I'm very grateful for her. Thank you. Okay, there's not that much more to say because I'm rambling more than usual. Only that this afternoon going to be going to meet up with all the family for a little weekend, my side of the family, to celebrate my birthday indirectly. It wasn't planned that way. So that'll be nice. And then when I get back, it's full steam ahead on this drawing that I promised last time. And that's what I'm aiming to do with the next few years next year at least, is get on with this book and hopefully get people reading it. That's the main thing. I just hope it'd be nice for people to read it. There's always this dream that you write a book and it becomes a bestseller and you get fame and fortune and all of that. But I certainly don't want fame, and fortune enough to live on would be lovely. Neither of those are likely. But I would love other people to read it. So that's the main goal, really. And at the moment, that's not happening. But thank you for everyone that's read it so far, and those reviews that I've been getting. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, I'm going to leave it there now. Oh yeah, it's all changed, hasn't it, in here? I've moved things around. Vanessa got me a new desk for my computer, so that's going to sit here. That's where I'm going to write now. And over there where I used to be, that's where I'm going to do my art. That's the plan, because it was driving me crazy having just a tiny space, because my computer was like up to here with the monitor and everything, so I had this tiny space here. It's a lot smaller than it appears, or than it used to appear on the screen. I don't even know if you can see it, but it's very small. And I'm always having to move stuff around. So now I'm going to make it so the studio works for me. That's the idea. The only problem is this desk now is sitting in the troubled spot of the studio where we get a lot of damp. It's a terrible, terrible room. But there's nothing that can be done at the moment. I've just got to hope that the whole thing doesn't rot. Okay, right, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, if you have. The view count has been going down lately, and I'm pretty sure it's only my hardcore followers, 20 or so of you, that are watching these regularly. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll get some more on board at some point, but I don't think YouTube are publicizing these videos much because they're not monetized and it's not in their kind of it's not to their benefit doing so. So that's fair enough. I kind of started this anyway as a resource for people that hopefully read the book already, and they could then use this to look into behind the scenes kind of thing. So it wasn't really, I didn't envisage it as a promotional tool, although I saw it could function as that, but it hasn't. So anyway, okay, right, I will say goodbye now. Cheerio.